Hello, lovely people, and welcome back to my channel. If you are following F1 news and current affairs closely, you will know that today the McLaren F1 team made a rather large announcement, although most all of us kind of did expect this to come at some point. Now, you may be asking yourself, Sarah, were you wearing that Daniel Ricciardo t-shirt before or after the announcement was made? And I can confirm no shade is being thrown at McLaren in this video. I just happen to really like Daniel Ricciardo and I was wearing it since before the announcement came out, so there we go. But all that aside, what they have decided is that they're essentially axing the executive technical director role within the team, and they're going to spread the responsibilities of that role across not one, not two, but three different positions. And we've got, namely, firstly, the technical director of aerodynamics. That's going to be Peter Prodromou. Glad that I didn't butcher that, or at least I hope I didn't. And Peter's actually been in an aerodynamics role at McLaren for the last 6 years. So he's one of three people in this new kind of stretched team role as opposed to an executive technical director. The second person is David Sanchez. He's going to be technical director of car concept and performance. And he is coming to McLaren after a decade at Ferrari, interestingly. And then the third piece of this puzzle is Neil Holdy, who is going to be the technical director for engineering and design, and he is actually essentially an internal promotion. He's already been working at McLaren for some time. Now, the three of these folks are going to report directly into Andrea Stella, who is, of course, McLaren's new team principal. And obviously, the biggest player to lose out here is James Key, who was the outgoing executive technical director, and he had been at the team in that role for 5 years, so a pretty significant person to be up and leaving the team. The question around why these changes have been made is unfortunately a pretty easy one to answer if you've watched any Formula One this season, and it's because McLaren are only 2 races into the season and they're already talking about not being able to compete successfully until 2025. I mean, Oscar Piastri had a DNF in Bahrain and then finished P15 in Jeddah. Meanwhile, Lando barely, bless him, managed to drag his car around to the finish line in the first race of the season and then finished a depressing P15 in Saudi Arabia. He in particular is clearly very frustrated and disappointed with what the team have delivered him, and he's already stated that the car is both slow and difficult to drive, and that's aside from any reliability issues. So that's a pretty awful trifecta. And currently McLaren are bottom of the Constructors' Championship. They don't have a single point yet, and come the end of April, it'll have been almost an entire year since they last had a podium, never mind a race win, which the last one of those was Daniel Ricciardo in that epic win in Italy back in September 2021. So things aren't good, and they haven't been for a while, and it's a well-known fact that McLaren did miss a number of their development deadlines for this 2023 car, and it was kind of alluded to in the statement that they put out today, essentially saying that these changes had been in the works for some time. Now, the burning question here is, are these changes to the internal structure at McLaren going to help them materially? And are we going to start seeing them getting back to fighting for that third, fourth place in the Constructors' Championship, where they did spend the 2020 and 2021 seasons battling that out with Alpine? I have a big question mark around this, and I'll tell you why. Firstly, 2 of the people that are forming this group, as I mentioned, are internal hires or internal promotions. So you've got the element of loyalty and internal promotion, which is very strong in Formula One, and it does absolutely bring benefits with it. But the one thing you're not getting is fresh perspective, and it's really hard to bring that if you've already been established in a team for some time. And then when you think about the person that they are bringing in externally, they're coming from Ferrari, where the current car is lacking pace and it's heavy on tire degradation. So this is the person that they're choosing to put in for the technical director of car concept and performance. So not only that, but David Sanchez actually isn't available until the start of the 2024 season to join the team. So somebody in the interim is going to have to fulfill that role in the team for the remainder of the year. So you can kind of understand why I'm not like jumping for joy that the folks at McLaren have put in these roles are there. And, you know, again, loyalty is a massive thing, absolutely. But I think potentially we're seeing something similar at Mercedes here where it doesn't always pay off. And at some point, you just have to bring in a fresh pair of eyes. Thanks as always for tuning in. This is a quick video this week just in response to that statement today, but I hope you enjoyed listening to my hot takes on this McLaren situation. I think we all agree that we would like to see them back up and competing. I think they've got a potentially very talented young driver lineup, and it's just a real shame to see it go to waste at the moment because that's pretty much what's happening. But go ahead and leave a comment down below telling me whether or not you think these changes are going to really make a difference. You know, is there a bigger issue at play here? Does Zach Brown need to be held more accountable for the position that the team is in? Did Andrea Seidel potentially help to make a mess and then run away to Alfa Romeo Sauber a little bit? All of these things are floating around in the ether, so let me know what you think. I'll be hanging out with you in the comments once the video goes live, but in the meantime, take care and enjoy your racing.